Hello, my name is Matt Sherman. I'm a sales engineer here at NetBrain. Today I'm going to show you how NetBrain automation allows you to resolve problems in minutes that would usually take hours to troubleshoot. In this demonstration, I'm going to be troubleshooting a multicast problem. I received a notification that users in the Toronto branch were having problems accessing video conferences. So the first thing I want to do is have a map opened up with the devices that I'm going to be troubleshooting, which I have opened up here. The next thing I want to do is open up a run book that has the steps required to troubleshoot multicast. So I'm going to open up this troubleshoot multicast run book. And the first thing that it's going to have me do is check to see the multicast flow of traffic. So I'm going to click on this customized verification here that allows me to enter in the device that's sending the multicast traffic, the source device, and the multicast group that it's sending to. I'm going to go ahead and click run here. And what NetBrain is going to do is it's going to log into all these devices and do a number of different commands. So it's going to look at the output of the show IPM route, the show IPPIM neighbors, show IPPIM interfaces, show IP IGMP groups. And it's going to use all that information from that output to highlight the map to show me how things are configured, how things are performing. And so right now it's going through the process of that. It's logging into these devices, and you're going to see some things start to highlight here once it's finished running. So here you can see it's starting to highlight for me on the map all the devices that have active multicast traffic. It's highlighting what interfaces those devices have participating in multicast, what type of multicast mode they're configured in. In this case, they're all sparse mode. It's also showing how the traffic is flowing from a multicast standpoint. If I go down below here, you can also see this particular device is both, it has both active multicast routes and is also the rendezvous point for that multicast group. If I scroll into the map here a little bit, you can see we're also giving additional table call out information here. So if I click on the multicast route or the M route output here, you can see what NetBrain is using to highlight this particular device. So it's looking to see that you have this source and destination in the multicast table, and that particular flow is in a forwarding state, and it's also showing what interface it's sending that traffic out of, and then it's reflecting that on the map here. So again, you don't have to go into each of these devices and run those commands and then try to put all this information together. NetBrain's going to do that all for you up front, so that you can get right down to figuring out your issues without having to jump from device to device. So as I'm looking at the map here, we're seeing the multicast traffic flow through the network. And then when we get to the LA site, we're seeing that it's not only flowing through the network, but it's actually getting through to the end host as well. And now so now we know that this multicast problem is not enterprise wide. It's localized to the Toronto branch that reported the problem. So I can see visually here that none of these devices are highlighted with active multicast traffic. So I know something is definitely going on here. They're definitely experiencing an issue. Now the next step of the runbook says I should look to see if there's any recent changes to the devices. So at least 50% of the time, network outages are caused by somebody making a configuration change that just wasn't complete or was incorrect. So the first thing here I'm going to do is then just click this uptime and configuration change verification. And so now this is going to highlight for me all devices that have had recent configuration changes. And so here now it's highlighting for me, these two devices have had recent configuration changes. So now I want to look at the output of those configurations. I'm going to go ahead and do a show run on those two devices. And NetBrain is going to log into those devices and return the output of those. Now I can just switch back and forth between those outputs by just doing these drop downs to look at the configs. Again, I don't have to pull all those configurations from the devices manually. I can pull them all at once. I can also batch multiple commands. So I could send 6 different commands to these devices, and NetBrain would pull all of them and return the results. But now I know that there has been a configuration change because I just ran that verification to tell me if there was. So now I want to compare the results of this latest show run that I did against previous results. So I know that the problem started a few hours ago. And so NetBrain, when it does a benchmark of the network, it's going to save a copy of the configuration every time. So I can refer back to an earlier configuration and compare it against this latest result that I just did. And here you can see it's showing me that one configuration line was added, one was removed. The one that was added is definitely not causing our problem. Now I can just start to scroll down through here to see what changes were made. And here's where we're getting to the root of our problem. This interface was configured with sparse mode in the past, and now that configuration line is missing. So possibly the site lost power and it didn't have that configuration saved and came up with the previous config, or maybe somebody accidentally removed that configuration line. But you can see how quickly I'm able to get to the cause of the problem by using these visualizations to show me how things are configured and how things are performing. And by doing so, I can reduce the amount of time it takes me to troubleshoot problems by at least 70%. So hopefully that came through clear to you on how strongly NetBrain can help in your troubleshooting efforts by using automation. Thank you.